Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to officially welcome you all to the grand finals match of Gaucho Cup. We have just begun the picks and bans. HD2 will be the first ban for Fiery Rage, and Gerite is the first ban, or second ban for Bartek. I'd love to have not missed the first two set of bans, but not something you can control as well. I will be joined today by Yong Yu Song, who I almost forgot to drag into the match, but there he is.
Hello there. Hi, everyone.
We are concluding the picks and bans. Fiery is gonna ban out DT4 to start us off strong here. We just need a hype match today. That's all we need.
Yeah, we no sweeps, please. That'd be great.
DT4 is going to be Fiery Rage's second ban as well. So there's one of Bartek's DT picks gone. And looks like Bartek gonna go with Lechmi no Ostro. Lechimi no Ostro. My apologies. I always mess that up. A classic Polish warm-up for the Polish winners bracket player today. Fiery Rage has to get that bracket reset if he wants a win today. So time for warm-up number one, Lecimy na Ostro.
I'm just not gonna say the title. I would embarrass myself.
Haha.
Has he pulled this warm-up with other matches, or is it just this one?
Bartek does traditionally pick this warm-up in other matches. I don't believe he has in this tournament yet, but he certainly has in other things.
Alright, makes sense.
This was in this map, in fact, was in one of our map pools. I believe it was the quarterfinals.
Oh wow, okay.
It was the No Mod 2 for the quarterfinals.
Alright then.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Bartek looking for his first ever 1v1 badge in this match today. He has made it to a notable amount of grand finals matches, and this is where he's going to go for that first badge attempt. Fiery Rage, the player who has kept him out of that first badge position for a really long time, taking away a couple of those opportunities from him. So Bartek looking for a little bit of revenge here today. Fiery Rage, I'm sure, determined to take the win on this match today. Being the losers bracket player, he has a lot to prove for himself, having to get the bracket reset.
Yeah, generally speaking, historically speaking, for Fiery, he's always been in these kind of clutch situations, and sometimes he turns out on top, and other times he kind of falls flat on his face. I'm not really sure how he's gonna perform for this one. Recently, from what I've seen, he's done a lot better during these bracket reset, kind of high octane finals, but I don't really know, honestly, because Bartek seems pretty determined, especially after, I believe, recently he lost to Fancy Light and Love tournament from a bracket reset as well, so...
He did, yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen, honestly.
He had a European tournament the other day as well. I'm actually curious to know how that went for him, but that could affect his motivation depending on how it went today, but... Both players having trouble with these space streams, as you do on this map. Fiery Rage actually having a very good time on the warm-up. But both players struggling on the beginning of the warm-ups here. Now, mind you all that Fiery Rage is in the losers bracket because of Bartek. So he did, in fact, lose his match to Bartek in the finals, in order to get put down to the losers bracket. So not only does Fiery Rage have to prove that he's good enough to win this tournament, he's got to once again prove that he's good enough to beat Bartek after losing 2-7 in the finals. Granted, this pool is certainly not the same as what we saw in the finals, but with the first warm-up over coming down to a 2,000 score difference in the end with barely any combo disparities and just a little bit of accuracy for Bartek here. It could be interesting to see what that means for the rest of the match. Looks like Imaginary Places is going to be Fiery's warm-up. It'll be his difficulty of Imaginary Places. He does seem to traditionally pick his difficulties of maps for warm-ups, but that's just what you do when you map. The last time we had a Bartek versus Fiery Rage match, just to reiterate, did not go too well for Fiery Rage, so that's going to add to his motivation, but it's also going to add to Bartek's motivation.
I'm actually really curious to see how the higher difficulty of this pool is going to scale up, because generally for a lot of people, well, at least from what I can tell, the general consensus that Fiery's skill ceiling is extremely high, to the point where most of these, typically Grand Finals pools don't really affect them too much, but I don't know, I mean, Bartek has also shown like pretty good performances. Like you said, during Finals he beat Fiery in just the Finals pool, so I mean, I don't really know how much the difference in difficulty will affect him in comparison. So
yeah, it could be
usually
true.
that's the pattern for I've noticed, especially in I think Nick's tournament. Like a lot of iterations, it's been like that where the pools, even though they were really hard, the skill ceiling was just so high that it wasn't really that much of an issue. So really, I honestly don't have any good predictions for this in terms of how the difficulty is going to scale.
It is true. I mean, this map pool is slightly harder than what most other tournaments would do for a grand finals, but it also balanced out a little bit. I think the earlier pools in the tournament were much more highly scaled for the rounds rather than the grand finals pool. I think it kind of mellowed out as we hit the top level pools and we gained more access to maps, but Fiery Rage did in fact win the grand finals of Nick's Winter Tour after having lost it, 2 to 3 years in a row in the grand finals, and he finally was able to pick up the win this past year. So he is on a little bit of a roll for tournaments right now. He's already picked up 1 badge this year, obviously looking for a second one. He signed up for a couple other tournaments, so he's clearly going for another badge spree this year. Bartek not quite able, as we mentioned earlier, to pick up a badge yet, let alone a 1v1 badge, quite possibly one of the more coveted badges that you can have on your profile for 1v1s. Both players actually hitting those back and forth double sections at the beginning, which was very impressive. Fiery Rage very clearly knows his own map more than Bartek does on a sight read. But Fiery Rage, even if he does know the map, is putting off some very impressive aim right now. This is aim that we don't see from him very often, only finally breaking. And, of course, messing up that wide star pattern, neither player being able to get the speed to hit that. And Fiery Rage with a very convincing win on his own warm-up with a very impressive play and an A rank on Imaginary Places. That is going to conclude the warm-ups, and we are actually going to be getting into the actual tournament now. This is, of course, best of 13, as we saw in the last stage of the tournament. First to 7 will take the win. It is Fiery's pick first, as I imagine he won the warm-up grabbing that first pick here. For first pick advantage, a good spot that you want to be in. If you're able to win all your picks, you will in fact be the first player to hit match point if you do have first pick advantage. So a good spot to put himself in. He's going to go for HR4, which will be Tayo to Kurashite Kita. A fantastic song, one of my personal favorites in the pool, honestly. And a very Fiery Rage-oriented hard rock pick, if I do say myself. There are some reading sections in here, however, that neither player should have too much trouble with, but Bartek known as the stronger reading player generally.
Yeah, so the thing about this map that kind of makes it a little bit different, at least from how I feel for certain like sort of spacing, whatever you want to call this kind of map. There's some sections in the middle where it slows down in terms of, like, I think it's some 1/3 section. I could be wrong on that. I don't know for sure. But sometimes the BPM changes can throw some people off for accuracy, so definitely something to look out for. And with Hard Rock, that's going to be even more amplified. So
Absolutely
I don't really
accentuates
know.
everything. Yeah, this could come down. I mean, Bartek did win the Hard Rocks against Fiery in the finals match. So it is all too possible that this goes either way right here. Fiery with that early accuracy lead, which we did see traditionally, but a lot of misses from Fiery Rage in the finals match were what gave him that disadvantage, but not too many difficult parts at the beginning of this map here. Just some little overlapping streams. Bartek struggling a little bit more with the accuracy, but I guess it's to be expected on Fiery Rage's pick.
Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's a section about, I think, halfway or 2/3 through the map where there's some kind of awkward, my guess is either doubles or triples, so potentially we could see some major drops there if anything happens in terms of reading. I'm not entirely sure what those are called though, but I distinctly remember a section like that existing.
Oh, and Fiery Rage missing the first set of the streams there. That's gonna give, or Bartek, my apologies. Fiery Rage holding his combo. Bartek finding a couple more breaks on this overlapping section here, not quite being able to find the comfortability in the faster section here. Fiery Rage very clearly well versed in his own pick.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. It's like, not really sure if any players will break here or not, but...
This is definitely a more difficult section when it comes to the reading aspect of this, but not too difficult for either of these players, but certainly doing the damage for Bartek right now is those earlier breaks. And of course, for those of you in chat asking for the bans, there is a bans command. Oh, and of course it's formatted absolutely awfully.
I don't think it's... is there enough time for Bartek to come back here?
I don't believe there is unless Fiery Rage drops a significant amount of accuracy.
Yeah, that 3% accuracy difference is basically just like an added multiplier for Fiery, and that combo is just gonna throw even more salt into the wound there.
Yeah, and Bartek just not quite gonna be able to have enough map, I don't believe. I don't think it speeds up at all at the ending. I think it's just some very simple single taps, and I think the combo that Fiery Rage is building here at the ending is just holding him off just enough at the ending that he's not gonna be able to even recover any score. But an impressive score from Bartek nonetheless. A very unfortunate section of breaks in the middle, and with Score V2, breaks in the middle matter much more than at the beginning or the end, which is where that multiplier comes in for Fiery Rage. He is able to bring back just a little bit of score, but certainly not enough with Fiery's massive combo in the beginning. So nothing too surprising yet in this match here. Fiery picking up his first point and first pick of the match there. Bartek not able to grab the break point this early. There is also a spreadsheet command for those of you asking for the map pool.
I did a bit of a oops, that's okay though.
Yes, the 5-second timeout.
Oh, DT2 coming in from Bartek here. That is Super Shooter, 270 BPM. Actually not 10.3, it's only 9.7, so I don't think this AR should be a problem for either of them actually. I believe this is the highest BPM in the DT pool.
It
so...
is. It's also fairly standard 270 BPM as well, but it's going to be interesting to see because Fiery did, in fact, pick up a lot of speed picks against players in this tournament that we wouldn't necessarily expect him to. And Bartek seeming to be a little bit pensive about picking the speed map this early into the match, so he's clearly maybe not as confident on the speed picks right now as he wants to be, but as long as he's able to hold combo the way he normally can in Bartek fashion on a speed pick, he should be able to take this. Fiery Ridge finding a very early break could be very indicative of that, as Bartek takes an early combo lead by about 110. And there's Fiery breaking on the triples as well, so Bartek just very clearly well-versed enough in the speed right now that he's just going to be able to lay down the law early on Fiery here. Very impressive from both players actually hitting the wide square there, but Bartek just being able to hit these triple fast sections better than Fiery, putting him at a big advantage here by about 50, 60,000. And he is going to be able to run away with the score for as long as he holds this full combo. Even if Fiery is starting to build up something to combat it, he definitely has a big advantage, almost double Fiery Ridge's combo.
Yeah, this is definitely a slower section of the map here, so we shouldn't see any major combo breaks, so it's going to push the score on definitely farther in favor of Bartek here.
Yeah, definitely Bartek with that full combo is massively helping him out right now. Fiery Ridge has a massive combo now, though, and we're halfway through the map, so Bartek has to be very careful, because if he finds a break anywhere here, there is a lot of opportunity for Fiery Ridge to make a comeback, and there's the break that he
just
needs.
as you say that.
This is a very bad situation for Bartek right now. Fiery Ridge is able to hold combo through this section, nothing too difficult, and Fiery Ridge certainly well-versed in the finger control aspects of this map. He needs to break on one of these faster sections, because this combo is going back to his side really fast.
Yeah, Bartek definitely not happy with that break there.
Yeah, not something he was looking for, and the score is going to go back to Fiery. He hasn't broken on any of these. There's the triple break. I think it's just in time. Bartek being able to hold through that fast section there where Fiery was able to lose enough combo is going to keep this on Bartek's side fairly heavily. And with not too much map left, and Bartek holding combo with Fiery finding another break, there's not going to be much map for Fiery to make a combo. But Bartek does miss quite a bit on that stream there, so it's going to even this out just a little bit. Both players with around the same combo, Fiery with a very slight lead, but it's not going to be enough if Bartek is able to hold combo into the ending.
Yeah, right now the accuracy really doing a major service for Bartek right now, about 1.7% difference, which is huge enough for this score lead. Yeah, there's just no map left. It's not possible for Fiery to make it back here, but...
Yeah, I think I've seen some people in the chat saying it that we didn't mention, but those longer streams and the triple bursts that were just one after another were certainly helping Bartek out with his ability just to play these pure speed maps just slightly better than Fiery Rage. I think Fiery was very strong on the finger control sections and the more technically intensive parts where he was able to hold combo, but when it came down to the pure speed of the streams at 270 BPM, I think that's where Fiery was able to let up some points there and let up some score for Bartek. It's going to go back to Fiery's pick now, so it's 1-1, neither player letting up a break point yet. Both of these have been fairly close. I think Fiery Ridge kind of ran away with the first pick purely because he was able to hold the combo at the beginning, and Bartek's placement was just not good for him, but this could go either way. Fiery Ridge going to opt in for the No Mod 3, so we are going to see Shinteki Sozo. Apparently the tournament client doesn't want to load it in, which is something that we always love to see.
Ah, yes, I sure do love how stable the tournament client is and how consistent it is and how it works. I really love it. It's something that I don't think they need to change at all.
I do promise that I loaded in all of the maps beforehand, but for some reason it just does not want to load in right now. So what we're going to do really quickly for you all is we are going to reload it, and then we're gonna reopen the client and hope that it loads in. If it doesn't, then I don't know what we're gonna do.
I can commentate.
Yeah, it's gonna.
So right now, Bartek with a pretty low accuracy starting off about 94. Fiery getting the first miss though. So Bartek's still holding a full combo here. Accuracy now evened out for both these players. And this is a pretty short map at only about 1 minute 30, so any breaks are going to be pretty important.
So it could come down to accuracy with a map that short and both of these players being well versed enough in the map pool that it may just slide over to whoever has that accuracy. And if Fiery's on his own pick right now, that's certainly going to lay over to his domain.
Oh, Fiery building up a slightly higher combo, but both players missing on some back and forth jumps here. Now combo reset for both sides, and accuracy about 1% in favor of Fiery, so he's holding the score lead by about 10,000 points.
Something actually very funny about the tournament client right now. It loaded in properly with the map, but the audio decided to not.
Weird, but anyway, I'm not. Is it on the stream right now? Are we good? Okay, cool. So Bartek now holding the lead with just barely enough map left for him to hold it.
And he's got it into the finish. Bartek with a massive combo lead in the ending with Fiery finding a break into the spinner is going to give Bartek his first break point by about 101,000.
Dang, so definitely, like I said, the breaks in between being a major killer for Fiery there. His accuracy was definitely lower, which did play a part into it, but if you look at the miss count, it was very, very noticeable. 14 versus 5, and score V2, that makes a huge difference.
It does.
Smart breakpoint from Bartek there, so let's see what... oh, no mod 5 coming in.
Immediately the Kreutz speed no mod. So Bartek is going to kind of space his speed picks out here just a little bit. Obviously, he can't double pick DT, but he can double pick no mod. So it may be in his best interest to kind of alternate back and forth. He does have 3 DT picks available to him, and he's going to have to maybe go back and forth between the different mod pools right here. But hopefully he's just as strong a no mod as he is in the DT picks, but he is going to have to go back around the sides here on the no mods. For some reason, the stream just doesn't have audio. Let me double check this one more time. All right, so it does have audio now. I'm not quite sure what was happening before, but it looks like it's fixed for the Kreutz map.
Yeah, so similar kind of situation with the last map with this one as well. Definitely on the shorter side, so any breaks that can happen here. Wow, just I see that.
That's a big accuracy deficit, and with the miss from Fiery Rage, that's about 5% on the AC and an early miss from him. Bartek is going to take a big lead here, and on these stream sections, he's certainly not going to be vulnerable to too many breaks, and he's keeping the accuracy as well on these double sections here. Fiery Rage building up his accuracy just a little bit, looking to be very strong, and Bartek actually finds a little bit of a miss aim. So that's actually going to leave a lot of opportunity for Fiery Rage to make a comeback here, but missing a jump.
Yeah, I can't really tell what's happening with him missing those jumps. I saw a little bit of note shaking, so maybe he's note locking somehow?
Maybe.
I don't really know.
Ooh, Bartek almost missing really badly on that 1/3 stream, but Fiery Rage actually going to be the one that found the break. So Bartek is going to hold his combo, and with well past the halfway point of the map here, and a very decent score lead with the combo as well, Bartek is going to be very hard-pressed to lose this next pick.
Oh, Bartek missing on that stream there. Accuracy is about to even out though, but Fiery has a combo advantage.
There's going to be a very likely, there's a high likelihood that Fiery Rage wins this pick actually if he doesn't break the ending. But Fiery Rage breaks.
Yeah, why do we keep cursing them?
Oh my goodness. Fiery Rage had all the opportunity in the world to make a comeback, and he just let it go to Bartek, who's able to hold combo through that. Bartek actually misaiming one of those far right circles, but there's certainly not enough map left for Fiery, even with the combo.
And those misses at the end are gonna seal it too.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bartek with his 3rd pick now 3-1 above Fiery Rage. It's gonna go back to Fiery, and he's gonna be able to go back to Hard Rock now, which is gonna put him in a good spot. I'm assuming he's strong enough on all these Hard Rock picks that he's confident he can continue grabbing this. He was very strong and robbed the Frontier in his match against Yokespie, and I'm sure he's gonna be even stronger having practiced it now. So this should be a very confident point for Fiery to put him back up to 3-2. finally jumping in to rob the frontier here. Once again, on Fiery Rage's pick, he is down 2 points right now. He has the opportunity to make it that he's only down 1. However, based on the break point that Bartek already has and winning all of his own picks, Bartek and Fiery actually both missing these beginning streams right here. Hopefully gonna find a little bit more confidence later in the map, but Fiery Rage has in fact let up that first pick advantage to get to match point, and it is now in Bartek's favor. So Bartek's gonna be able to run away with this, and with Fiery Rage being the losers bracket player, he has to win this match and the next one if he wants the badge from this tournament. So he's got to beat Bartek twice. Whoever finds the next break.
Yeah, ironically enough, actually, those breaks from both the players in the beginning basically combo reset them. Oh!
But Bartek with actually the most unfortunate slider break I have ever seen in my life. I'm not quite sure how he broke right there, but Fiery Rage nonetheless is going to have a very good combo lead right now, about 150. And with Bartek with another break, it's going to be about a 400 combo lead for Fiery. So very confident on this pick. As I mentioned, he did very strong performance in this in his match against Yokespie, and he's certainly proving to us why he's consistent on this map right here again.
This is a longer map, so definitely not going to be as much of an issue for any breaks, but if anyone maintains a long combo, that's gonna screw them over.
So continuing to hold combo now, Fiery Rage almost to the halfway point of the map, looking impressively strong. Finally finding a break though. Bartek does have a combo, but he's got to hold it for quite a while to combat that earlier combo from Fiery Rage. So Bartek looking very strong through this jump section. There is a slow part after this that's going to be able to give him a lot of combo, but he's got to hold all the way up to it. Bartek's certainly not one to be unconfident with Hard Rock, but certainly not normally as confident as Fiery Rage. We're coming into a little bit of a breakdown section here with some difficult jump patterns, and Fiery Rage actually is the first one to find a break here. So Bartek now holding the combo, and through the slider stream, he's going to have the opportunity to bring the score back to his side, well past the halfway point of the map. If the score goes over to Bartek far enough, Fiery Rage is going to be hard-pressed to make a comeback, but he does have to continue holding. There's the score lead over to Bartek's side, and if he grabs another break point, Fiery is going to be in a very bad spot. Bartek having a very good match today, but he does miss aim. That's going to go back to Fiery Rage. There's enough map left, and Fiery has the combo over Bartek. If Fiery doesn't find a break within the next 5 to 10 combo, the score is going to go back over to his side. Accuracy lead is in favor of Bartek, so he is going to hold the score for a little while. But with Fiery Rage having about a 200 combo lead over Bartek, he's definitely going to be able to bring this back. There's plenty of map left with about an 1/8 left. And Fiery holding very confidently on these sections here, only dropping a couple of 100s hitting the streams. He's got to miss the jumps. The score lead has gone back to his side, so Fiery's going to be able to take this away, but he slider breaks.
Oh, I think he under-aimed that slider in the corner there, but he hit everything else.
But Bartek has a 250 combo right now. There's plenty of time for him to bring the score back to his side, especially with the accuracy lead, but Bartek needs to almost full combo the entire ending section, but he slider breaks.
Right at the end! Is that gonna be it for Fiery? I think
it's it. Fiery Rage has it in the ending with the combo lead in the ending.
Down to the wire on that one, but that is gonna be Fiery winning that one. 3-2.
Was gonna be very close. Bartek had so many opportunities to bring the combo back, and some unfortunate placement of breaks for both players made this map a lot closer than we ever would have expected it to. Bartek holding combo ridiculously strong in the midsection of that map there, bringing the score back to his side quite a few times, but Fiery Rage in the ending, just with the pure placement of his breaks, being able to hold combo at the beginning and then only finding a couple breaks towards the beginning of the middle there. And he was able to pull it out in the end by just the skin of his teeth there, about 11,000 on the score, and Bartek is going to go for his most confident pick Gaucho Kalibe's diff. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that don't know, Bartek just happens to hold the #1 spot on this map. This is one of his most confident picks that he could possibly go for in the entirety of this pool. In my mind, if the #1 spot on this map does not win this, I would be fairly concerned. I'm not quite sure how strong Fiery Rage is on Gaucho. This is a little bit more standard than the other DT they went for. However, this is one of the 10.3s. So Bartek does have this in his home court right now.
Yeah, this is going to be, I mean, obviously everyone's going to know this is the token map of this tournament, but in particular, the fact that, like you said, the fact that Bartek holds #1 is kind of a dead giveaway that he's kind of set to win this, but I don't know, I mean, has Fiery gotten a score on this with DT
He
yet?
does not have a known score on this map, which is what would concern me if he was able to grab this, but Bartek has found a couple of unfortunate breaks on the other DT that he played, so maybe we'll see that again on this, which could give Fiery Rage the opportunity to make a comeback. But if Bartek is able to grab this pick, it'll be very good for him, advancing to 4-2. And if he can just maintain this lead that he has right now, he's going to be able to run away with this match. Bartek looking very confident, but Fiery Rage holding immediately with him with that double S still. This map is certainly not as technically intensive as the top difficulty of this map with those double sections in the middle. This is more on the finger control and aim, which Bartek seems to be very confident on right now. Fiery Rage with the first break on the fast stream there at the beginning, and Bartek holding that double S still. This looks very evident that it's going to stay on the side of Bartek. Bartek has been intensely strong on all the double times through the final stages of this tournament, and he's looking to continue to prove that to us right now, holding through the speed pick with a double S almost halfway through the map.
I think that was a ghost break from Fiery.
Oh, it was a ghost break from Fiery, but he does have the accuracy deficit right now, so Bartek holding on the accuracy is actually keeping him in the lead, but there's an actual break from Fiery Rage. Thank you for pointing that out. Fiery has, in fact, now broken his combo, but Bartek... Oh, but Fiery breaks immediately after him, so even though Bartek found a break, that accuracy lead that he had and the fact that Fiery broke immediately after is now going to keep the score and the combo in his favor, so... it's in Bartek's court right now. This is his map to lose, and as we come into the slow section here, there's a lot of free combo, which is just burning up Fiery Rage's time. He's at about 100,000 score deficit, which is purely because of this massive accuracy lead from Bartek with 99.25.
Yeah, the only way for Fiery to make it back now is if Bartek were to break at some point, like, randomly, but...
He would have to break right before the quarter waypoint, but there it is from Bartek. This is it. Wait a second. There is plenty of time for Fiery to make a comeback here, but he's... Oh, Bartek breaking again. This is going to give this to Fiery Rage very handedly right now. The score deficit is already about 70,000. If Fiery Rage is able to hold combo for the end of the map, he'll take the point on this, but he literally cannot break. If Fiery Rage breaks anywhere, he loses this pick.
Oh, he also needs Bartek to get a little bit of an act drop if he wants to make it decisive.
Oh, this is gonna come.
Like it's gonna happen.
The difficult section comes into the ending. Fiery Rage has enough time. This is gonna go back to his side. And ladies and gentlemen,
oh, but both players break.
Bartek has to win this based purely on accuracy. If either player drops 100 at the end of this map, it's gonna come down to the final section. Bartek dropped 100 at the end of the map, which gave it over to Fiery Rage with a 1 misplay. Ladies and gentlemen, Fiery Rage just yolks-pied the hell out of that map against Bartek.
Oh my god, that was so close at the end. The scoreline kept flickering back and forth constantly.
It was flickering back and forth, but the combo advantage from Fiery Rage in the middle and the fact that Bartek dropped that 1x100 at the ending of the map gave it over to Fiery at the last second. If Bartek hadn't dropped those 1-2 100s right at the ending, that would have stayed on his side by just a little bit. But the fact that Fiery was able to hold that combo in the middle really helped him out. And he's going to go for No Mod 4 now. So we are going to see Hypnotize. A tech map certainly going to put this into Fiery Rage's court fairly heavily. Bartek barely had less combo than Fiery on that last map, but the accuracy lead wasn't able to hold him up enough. He had a massive accuracy lead well into the 98%. That was an 8 miss compared to a 1 miss, ladies and gentlemen, and Fiery Rage won that pick. So he has now brought this back to even, and if Fiery Rage is able to win this pick right here, he's going to be in a very good spot, because that's going to give him, that's basically going to reset this match. So Fiery Rage has gotten the break point back from Bartek that he needed to get, but now that Bartek no longer has that advantage, he's going to have to work a little bit harder for this. Fiery Rage still has got to put that work in for 2 whole matches. Both players have agreed to do the bracket reset immediately after this, if it does come to that. But if a bracket reset does happen, I imagine Bartek will go to pick Gaucho again in the second match. I believe Bartek definitely had that map in his court, but some unfortunate breaks toward the ending gave it up to Fiery with the combo that he was able to hold. This map went fairly handedly to Fiery Rage. This is in fact the map that he was able to win the losers bracket finals match on to get to the grand finals. So I imagine he'll be able to do it again, with Bartek finding a very early break here on a part of the map that I'm not quite sure where he broke. I don't believe it was a Bancho miss, as it has held over pretty well, and it did show up in a noticeable spot. So this is going to come down.
One of the sliders? I'm not entirely sure on that though, but anyway, we're going into the actual Ki here, so the hard part.
Both players holding very strong to a double section, but Fiery Rage is going to find a slider break, but so does Bartek. So this is going to actually stay fairly even with about a 10,000 score lead for Fiery Rage. He's not going to be able to gain a lot of distance on Bartek right now, and Bartek's going to hold right behind him, but with that slider break, that's actually going to give Fiery Rage just a little bit of advantage he needs to start building up a combo here. He does have about double Bartek's combo with the placement of that slider break, and unless he finds another break here, Bartek is going to remain perpetually behind him. Both players holding very strong through these aim and double sections here, and actually the funny thing is that both of them are basically breaking on sliders. Bartek was able to gain a little bit of a combo advantage there on that fast 1-6 stream, purely based on his ability to play the speed. But it's really coming down on a map like this to whoever holds through the sliders. Fiery Rage and Bartek both holding through the slider stream, which neither Yolkspie or Fiery Rage was able to hit in the match in the finals. Both players also hitting all of these back and forth jumps here. It's going to really come down to whoever breaks here. Both players with a massive combo right now.
Oh, but there's another break.
We're at about halfway point. Bartek has a lot of combo right here, and if he's able to hold into the slow section, this is going to be very bad for Fiery. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, Bartek with an S rank on Hypnotize with
also,
the exact same
accuracy. Yeah. So this is going to be interesting to see here with the extra combo, and I believe it's actually just another slow section,
yes.
So it's definitely going to burn more time for Fiery here.
It's not going to burn quite enough, though, with the accuracies being the same and Bartek only now getting his first glimpse of a combo lead. He's got to hold this for quite a while, and the ending section of this map certainly gets no easier, so Bartek needs to gain a lot of score lead here if he wants to hold Fiery off now that he's building up his little bit of a combo. He needs Fiery to break before he does if he wants a chance to secure this pick in his own court. He has brought the score lead back to his side, so this is him, and there is a fairly easy section for both players here, so I don't imagine there's going to be too many breaks here. Both players hitting the space stream there. This is going to be very close into the ending. If Bartek finds the first break here, Fiery has enough combo to bring it back to his side rather quickly, but Bartek needs Fiery to break first. Bartek and Fiery both clearly practicing the map pool, as neither player gets a slow slider there. But as we come into the final quarter of the map here, it's going to come down to whoever breaks first. Neither player breaking on the overlaps here. This is going to come down to the ending couple sections, and Bartek and Fiery break at the same time.
Right now, slight accuracy advantage for Fiery, but I don't know how much that's really going to affect it when the combo reset on both sides is still there. I mean,
if Bartek is able to hold combo into the ending section of this map, he's going to be able to have it, but the slider break from Bartek is going to give this over to Fiery Rage. There's enough time, and with Bartek with a second break, it's going to very handedly go over to Fiery, but Fiery finds a break. This could be it, but Bartek breaking immediately after. Both players not being able to hold the combo in this middle fast section here, and it's going to come down to whoever holds it. Fiery Rage finds a break right there, and Bartek's able to hold combo, and he holds it through the sliders as well, actually, so that's going to give a good advantage to Bartek right now.
There's still one part of the map left. You got to be careful.
Ooh, and both players hit the slider stream. This is going to be very heavily in the favor.
Bartek
But Bartek slider breaks. That's going to be enough to give it over to Fiery in the ending, especially with the accuracy lead. We come into the 1/3 section at the ending, and Fiery Rage is going to actually maybe, but it's going to be very close. Oh, but Bartek slider breaks. That's going to be it. That's going to be it. It's going to go over to Fiery Rage in the last couple seconds of the map with that slider break from Bartek at the ending.
Wait, that 100 Fiery.
Oh, but Fiery breaks. He let it go. He let it go. And Bartek is going to pick up the point, 4-3, another break point against Fiery Rage. He's not allowed to go for DT again, so Bartek may want to opt in for a reading map against Fiery right now. He might want to stay away from Nomad 6, however, as Fiery did pull off a good combo on that against Yokespie. He could go for Nomad 7, Suki Yue. I am very sure that Fiery is not too confident on that. That was a very, very close map, and a pick that we couldn't really have predicted would be that close, given both players' performances at the beginning. But Bartek just purely being able to hold combo for longer than Fiery Rage. If you look at the combo difference, almost 300 higher for Bartek over Fiery, and it looks like Bartek is going to go for the hidden speed pick, so the slider tech Rampage. This is going to be the 195 BPM, slightly lower than Hanabi at 230, but Hanabi certainly in Fiery Rage's court. Rampage on the slider tech here at 2 minutes and 13 seconds. I think Bartek, a very strong hidden player, is going to try and put this. So Bartek and Fiery both going to load into Rampage here. Bartek has the opportunity to advance to that two-point lead once again if he's able to pick up his own pick here, but this is really going to come down to whoever finds more slider breaks, to be perfectly honest, especially on these beginning sections here, and it looks like it's going to be Fiery Rage going to mess up the first stream there. So an early lead for Bartek. It's not going to matter too much. The map is 2 minutes, which is a shorter map, but it's certainly not short enough that that early break from Fiery is going to kill him for the rest of the map. The accuracy lead for Bartek and actually breaking on those doubles is going to even this map out immediately, as Fiery Rage is going to be able to hold combo through the subjectively easier section of the map right here. But Bartek does have the opportunity to continue to keep this lead here if Fiery finds another break on the stream like he did on the first one. Fiery Rage dropping quite a few hundreds, but the score lead is going to go to his side purely based on the combo. It's about a 1% accuracy lead for Bartek, just under 1%, and it's really going to come down to whoever is able to hold it through the difficult Ki at the ending. As of right now, it's in Fiery Rage's side fairly heavily. He's got a decent combo lead based on that double section. Bartek, actually, even before the map started, said that he was most likely going to break on the double section, so he called it very early, but I guess he was just hoping that Fiery Rage would break along with him, but Fiery Rage being very confident on these slider tech maps here today. This was a little bit of a questionable pick for Bartek compared to some of the other maps that I believe were in the pool for him, but Fiery Rage needs to find a break on one of these if he wants to give this up to Bartek. Time is running out, even with the combo, and with Bartek finding a slider break, this is going to definitely go to Fiery Rage. Even though he does find a slider break there, Bartek just simply won't have enough map left to make this comeback, with Fiery at about 100,000 score lead. Fiery Rage needs to break combo quite a few times at the ending of this map if Bartek wants to grab it. There's one combo break from Fiery, but I think he needs to drop one more. I don't think that's going to be enough. It's not going to be enough, I don't think, with Bartek finding a break as well. I think he may have had the chance at the ending, but Bartek with those 2 breaks at the ending certainly giving away that chance, even though Fiery was able to hold it into the ending. It's about 100,000 score lead for Fiery Rage and some unfortunate breaks. That was a little bit of an RNG map, I think, for both of those players. A lot of weird slider patterns and slider breaks that both of these players found at about the same points, and a 3 miss for both of them. Just barely an accuracy lead from Fiery Rage, but I think both of those players were very confident on that map. I think they were more confident than they were leading on, and into the end, it's gonna go over to Fiery Rage. This is gonna be the last possible hard rock, by the way, that Fiery Rage can pick, as I believe only Soul Cosine is left for them here, as Bartek banned out Hard Rock 3, and Fiery Rage opened up with HR4 and HR1. He's going to go for the Nomad 1 consistency pick, so he's going to save that last hard rock for a time where he actually needs it, apparently. Bartek is going to be rather surprised by the fact that Fire Rage went for the No Mod 1. This is really going to come down to whoever finds some awkward breaks on this map. And I swear to God, if Sendan Life doesn't load in as well. Okay, it did. Thank you, Sendan Life, for taking a couple extra seconds to load in. But it did, in fact, go at the last second. This is really just going to continue going back and forth. Both players have traded quite a few break points in this match, as well as winning some of their own. But this is really going to come down to this No Mod 1 here. If Fiery Rage is able to win his pick, he's going to bring this map back into his side. If Bartek grabs another break point here, I'm not quite sure what Fiery's going to do, because Bartek could take his point here and then go immediately for double time 1 after and put himself at match point, but that is only given that he's able to win Sendan Life here. Both players dropping quite a few hundreds at the beginning, being at the exact same accuracy. Score V1 different from score V2 in the fact that 100 placement doesn't matter comparatively. Bartek with an A rank, actually, even though he hasn't missed yet. And we're going to come into the big jump sections of this map here. It's really going to come down to whoever finds the unfortunate misses. Both players have been very strong on the jumps today. Bartek proving to be matching up quite well, and Fiery's going to find the first break early, very clearly nervous. With a little bit of a shake on that first miss there. So Bartek going to have a nice lead to run with as we come into a little bit more comfortable section of the map. A lot of these jumps are fairly wide, and it leaves a lot of room for misaiming, especially with some of the misaims we've seen from Bartek today. It would be very surprising if we didn't see a break and we saw the full combo from him today. Fire Rage normally known for being good on these types of maps, and I imagine that early break is not something we're going to be seeing too much of. But from what we're seeing right now, Bartek with a healthy combo lead over Fiery Rage is going to be running away with this, hitting the first set of sliders. He does need Fiery Rage to break one more time if he wants to gain a little bit more confidence in this, but he does have the combo lead for now, hitting all of these up and downs. Both players still very strong.
Here goes another jump section here, and both players nailing it, actually.
So that's the first big jump section of this map here. There are about 2 more of those, and especially with the big one at the ending here. Both players hitting the triples into the slow section here. We're at about a halfway point of the map here. Bartek with a little bit of an accuracy lead based on Fiery's misses. And we're going to hit the stream into the next section here. A little bit of banjo lag to leave us in suspense to see if either player hits these next sections. And we are at exactly the halfway point of the map now. Only about 110 combo lead for Bartek. So as I mentioned earlier, he does need Fiery to find a break in this second section of the map if he wants security in this. Even though he's holding the FC, he's going to need to continue to hold it until Fiery Rage is able to find a break, unless both players break at the same set of jumps. Here comes one big jump section right here. Both players hitting the sliders, and here we come into the second big key eye of the map here before the final jump section. Bartek still holding strong, Fiery Rage right on his tail.
In fact, actually, accuracy is about to even out right now, so it's entirely about that miss from Fire in the beginning here.
And neither player breaks on the big jump section. We're going to come into the quarter waypoint of the map here, and both players are going to hold strong. We do have a massive jump section coming up here, and either player could find a miss here. Both holding strong through the first sections of them, and right before the quarter waypoint, we have a very big jump section. It's going to come down to whoever hits this, and both players hit it! Fiery Rage is going to be beating himself up about that first miss if he loses this map because of that. Bartek with almost 100,000 score lead here, and he's holding it in. There's going to hit a certain point. Nope, no break. It's Bancho. You're lying. Nope. But Bartek's slider broke.
Yeah, I think I'm ahead. Sorry.
Oh, try sinking your meat. Try panicking. It'll even out. This is going to be enough time. Fiery Rage is bringing combo back, and he's not going to break, but he breaks. Fiery Rage misses. Ladies and gentlemen, Bartek is going to pick up the break point that he needs with Fire Rage breaking immediately after him at the ending. This is going to go to Bartek. Ladies and gentlemen, into the final sections of the map here. Fire Rage not with enough time left, and Bartek is going to be your winner of the break point on No Mod 1.
Both of the players hit the ending section perfectly. It was literally just those slider breaks and misses from oh my god.
Bartek with
brutal.
a 1x slider break on Bartek with a 10-100. Only one miss from Fire Rage at the beginning and a slider break at the end. Unfortunately going to put him in the loss for that map. And Bartek is now going to once again take the lead in this match. Ladies and gentlemen, Bartek only 2 points away from his first ever 1v1 badge. Ladies and gentlemen, Bartek is going to go for the all too confident double time 1. Fiery Rage absolutely has to win this map if he wants a chance to take this. Fiery would have to win 2 points in a row after this if he was to take this. This is essentially, as Bartek said, no mod 1, but DT version, and he is absolutely correct. There are a couple bursts in this map that are going to prove very difficult for both of these players here. Bartek proving to be a stronger DT speed player in this match here. However, he did lose Gaucho to Fiery by just a little bit at the ending. So Bartek is going to go for DT1, and this, once again, is his opportunity to get match point here. This tiebreaker is not exactly favored towards either player here, so it could go either way. But Bartek looking to take this match point as soon as he can, because even if it's not a guaranteed win, once you hit match point, it certainly puts a lot of stress on the other player to win the next 2 maps, or the next map rather, in order to continue. And in Fiery Rage's case, if Bartek is able to get to match point here, Fiery has to win 2 picks to get to match point, not just the 1 that some players would normally have to get. So he's got to put up a very good effort on Children of Hell right now. And given some unfortunate breaks earlier, this is definitely sitting in Bartek's court right now. Fiery's got to be able to hold it through this, and as we get into Children of Hell, this could be the deciding map for this match.
Yeah, so the main thing about this map to keep in mind is that although there's not really any major sections where it gets like big jumps or really bursty, but it just kind of stays about the same difficulty throughout. Like once you get past the beginning, like the Ki, it kind of maintains the difficulty generally speaking.
Definitely, there's a couple big jump sections, but other than that, it's very consistent.
Yeah, it doesn't really
But
get,
Bartek's
there's
slider
never like
breaks.
a notable section where it's like, oh wow, I don't know if anyone's
That was a
gonna hit
Bancho.
one.
That was a Bancho slider break I am into.
Yeah, I think it's, honestly, I don't really know. It's kind of almost down to accuracy and shit misses, to be completely honest with you.
It really is, especially on these sliders at the beginning, and it's all too possible to see either of these players just find a little bit of a slider break here by leaving too early. Both players hitting this beginning section confidently with a double S, so this is going to be a very even pick. As you mentioned, as Bartek mentioned, this is essentially consistency no mod 1, but thrown with DT on. And I think something that's going to give Bartek a big advantage in this map here is going to be the fact that it's 10.3. Fiery Rage does drop 1x100 on that jump section before the pause here. So Bartek is going to have an early accuracy lead into a little bit of a build-up section here before the actual difficult section of the map here. Fiery Rage is holding right behind him in terms of combo, so that 1x100 from him is not really going to do too much damage, only being behind about 3,000 on the score. If Bartek finds a miss anywhere, Fiery is going to take this immediately, and like we've seen on a lot of other maps, it's really going to come down to whoever finds the first miss here. And I'd be very surprised to see Bartek find the first miss on this map, but Fiery was very confident on this pick against Yoxpai, and he did put up a rather impressive score in his match on that, so this could really go to Fiery Rage if Bartek finds a miss aim here. For those of you that didn't watch Yoxpai versus Fiery Rage, when they did in fact play Children of Hell, Fiery Rage put up 690,000 with 99.03% accuracy before he broke at just over 1,000 combo. So Fiery Rage looking to improve on his score from yesterday in order to beat Bartek today. He's already beaten his combo from yesterday. And there goes Fiery Rage breaking at about the same spot that he broke yesterday, and Bartek just looking all too confident on this DT pick right now. He's just going to run away with this combo well past the halfway point of the map. This is going to be impossible for Fiery to come back, especially with Bartek hitting that one big jump section there. And this accuracy lead not too heavily in the favor of Bartek, and actually Fiery with better accuracy than he had yesterday right now, but Bartek just purely with this combo right now, going through all of these streams masterfully, and with about 3/4 of the map all the way done right now, Bartek is holding this insanely strong. Yeah, honestly, I don't know what's on with Fiery's screen versus Bartek's in terms of background dim. It could just be a glitch that happened after we reset it, but nonetheless, Bartek, ladies and gentlemen, still holding the full combo. There's not a lot of full combos on Children of Hell, by the way, with DT. I believe only the top 4 spots on this map are DT. And something I just realized that I didn't see before, Bartek actually has number 1 on this map with 2x100. So that's going to be very evident. Yeah, Bartek definitely strong on this map and proving it to us by still holding a full combo, which is absolutely insane. Unfortunately, not as exciting of a match. fieryrage, however, I do have to give props to him. He is definitely improving on his score from yesterday in terms of accuracy. He's going to beat his score from yesterday, but Bartek finally breaks at the end, so unfortunately he's not going to be able to find the FC on Children of Hell, but he is certainly going to take the point, as there is not enough time for Fiery to make a comeback on a 1 million plus score. And ladies and gentlemen, Bartek is going to be at match point on fieryrage's pick, and he is just 1 point away from winning this match. Fiery is going to go for HR2, however, so Bartek, if he does want to win this match on fieryrage's pick, is certainly not going to have an easy time with it. fieryrage, a very confident Hard Rock player in this match, and has not really let anything up to Bartek on the Hard Rock pool. fieryrage, however, did lose Soul Cosine to Yokespie yesterday, but he did have much higher accuracy, but only a 253 combo is what lost him that against Yokespie. So hopefully he doesn't make the same mistake today against Bartek. It didn't really matter as much. I keep saying yesterday as if it was yesterday. On Saturday, it wouldn't really matter as much against Yokespie for fieryrage to lose this pick. However, it would matter rather heavily, to say the least, if he lost this against Bartek, effectively giving him the win on the tournament. If this does come down to tiebreaker, I imagine it could go either way. fieryrage is not as strong of a stream player traditionally as Bartek on streams. The style of Bartek, of what he normally plays, but
yeah, this one is CS 6.5, so I'm not really sure who's better at 6.5. I would assume Fiery, but I mean, he's saying in the chat right now that he's not very confident about it either, so it could be honestly anyone's game at this point.
Bartek is very clearly a little bit anxious for this map right now. He's a little bit excited that he's in the lead right now. I apologize to Nega, who was just timed out with the link. There's the link for you all.
Yeah, so the tiebreaker, for anyone who's not aware, that is an ICDD map by Idki. I'm not even gonna bother pronouncing the full name of it, but the difficulty name is Ketsueki?
Yeah. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is the map to decide it all right here. Well, technically it's not, but in my mind, this map could decide everything. Bartek looking to take the win on this tournament today. fieryrage has to win this pick in order to take the win on the tournament, take the win on his point, and effectively he would have to win Bartek's pick after this. But into the 6.5 Hard Rock here, this is going to be throat punching for these players here. Bartek was very clearly nervous before this started, but fieryrage didn't seem too confident as well, so this is going to come down to whoever's better at the 6.5 right now. Neither player is breaking at the beginning here. We saw the first break in Yokespie versus fieryrage at about 230 to 240 combo, and Fiery finds the first break, ladies and gentlemen, but Bartek breaks immediately after, so this is actually going to stay fairly even, but fieryrage with the first break in this map, hopefully not indicative of how the rest of this is going to go. And there's another break from Fiery. Ladies and gentlemen, Bartek is well on his way to taking the win in this tournament. Fiery breaking again. Oh no, it's going all downhill. Ladies and gentlemen, Bartek, in fact, in the lead massively right now, almost halfway through Hard Rock. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, Hard Rock 2, Soul Cosine Job 2, Fiery breaks again. Ladies and gentlemen, Bartek is going for it.
Oh, but there's the break from Bartek there.
Oh god, you must be ahead of me. Bartek and Fiery breaking at the exact same point. Ladies and gentlemen, halfway through the map right now. Bartek with just a barely 40,000 score lead. This could stay on the side of Bartek if he's able to hold combo. Fiery needs to break one more time for Bartek not to be able to win this. Come on, this is really way too close. if Bartek breaks one more time, fieryrage is going to take the win on this pick purely in terms of the accuracy. His combo is only 2 above Bartek, and with a quarter of the map left, this is really going to come down to whoever finds the last break. This is Bartek's map to lose, and there's the break!
Oh no. Ah, the lead.
Fieryrage is going to pull it. He's going to pull it back, and there's no break from Fieryrage at the ending. It's going to stay on his side. Bartek is, in fact, not going to take the win on Hard Rock 2 today, as expected. Fieryrage too confident on these Hard Rock picks today. And Bartek, with an unfortunate break at the ending, is going to give this back to Fieryrage in the end.
Yeah, right now. However, this is very tense for Bartek right now. This is the last pick he gets, and if he wins this pick, he finally gets his first 1v1 badge after wanting it for, I think, 2-3 years at this point, and multiple Grand Finals chokes. But if Fiery wins this, it gets this break point, then it will go straight to tiebreaker, and if he wins that too,
this is
you
Bartek's
have to do it
pick.
all over again.
So this is
Yeah.
Bartek's pick. So he is in a very confident position here, especially having map choice. He has no mod 6 and no mod 7. And actually, as I'm saying that, he's actually talking about both of those maps here. He has exercised all of the DTs that he can use, and the Hard Rock pool is gone as well, which leaves only a couple maps left. It looks like he's gonna go for no mod 6, which is kilometers per hour. I'm surprised he didn't go for Suki Yue. Maybe he doesn't know that Fiery just isn't ridiculously confident on Suki Yue. And I was stopping by Fiery's stream the other day, and he was making note that he was not too confident on Suki Yue, but Bartek's certainly a very strong AR8 reading player, but Fieryrage had a very good score on this in his match against Yoxpai as well, actually winning this with a 577,000 score. So unless Bartek is able to put up a better score than Yoxpai did yesterday, Fieryrage is going to take the win on this. I hope nerves don't take too much of an effect in both of these players today. Bartek is in fact up on combo on Fieryrage, with Fiery having a very early break, but Bartek breaking more towards the middle section of the map here is going to give the score lead over to Fieryrage. Hopefully Bartek is able to compose himself, because this is going to go to tiebreaker if this doesn't go to Bartek.
Yeah, right now, Fiery's starting to build up his accuracy, though, making it back to about where Bartek is. A little bit more in favor of Bartek here, but the combo is... Oh, wait, a couple breaks from Fiery there. I think it was a bit of a misread on the stack there.
Fieryrage holding the accuracy through this stream. Both players grabbing it here. Score lead is on Bartek's side, but Fieryrage is right on his tail. Any Bartek break is going to give this immediately over to Fiery. This is super close right now. We're at about a quarter of the map left. Neither player breaking. He's not letting anything up. Fieryrage holding this strong into the ending, but is it going to be enough? He's down about 100,000 on the score right now. He needs a break right now, and it doesn't happen.
Oh, this is the slow section of the map. There's no way for Fire to make it back, so...
The map is effectively over, and ladies and gentlemen, your champion of Gaucho Cup will in fact be Bartek. Congratulations to him for taking the win in the end in a very, very close match, 7-5 against Fieryrage. Fieryrage putting up an insane performance in this match today, not letting up any of the Hard Rock picks against Bartek today, picking out some insanely confident maps, even winning break points against him. In the end, Bartek being able to pull it out, a fantastic match, and Fieryrage with a valiant effort. Congratulations to him on the second place finish in the tournament. Fantastic from him as well. Fieryrage, one of the strongest 1v1 players we've seen in recent months in this game, picking up all too many badges from tournaments, winning Nick's Winter Tour and Baka Squadron Cup, to name a few. So a very, very well played from both players, and a congratulations to Bartek for winning the tournament and the badge. In the end, I would like to give a very special thanks to everyone who helped out with this tournament. Thank you to Young, first of all, for commentating with me today. He was the winner of our little rock, paper, scissors match. Always a pleasure being joined by Young. Thank you so much to all of the referees, the streamers, the admins, the map poolers, and playtesters for everything they did in this tournament to make it a success. Thank you so much to all of the players as well for showing up to matches and pulling up some insane performances. We've had some ridiculously close matches in this tournament, and it's always very exciting to see a fantastic grand finals match as close as this one with a 7-5. That is very close. That was a fantastic finish for this tournament, one of the best we could have expected. So congratulations to our 3 winners, Yolks Pie in 3rd place, fieryrage with a 2nd place, and Bartek, our winner, in 1st place. All 3 of them will be receiving their profile banners and prizes soon, and Bartek will be receiving his badge with no time at all. But once again, a big thank you to everyone who helped with this tournament. This is the longest sign-off I have ever done, but fantastic time. It has been a pleasure hosting this tournament for you all. I do hope that if there is a second iteration, that everyone does decide to come back for the second one. If we do, in fact, decide to do a Gaucho Cup 2, I'll have to figure out how we're going to be able to do that. But it'll be interesting to see if we're able to do a second iteration of this tournament. But that will in fact be it for us. I will make an announcement about the winners of the tournament very soon. Once again, congratulations to all the winners. That will be all of us from the staff of Gaucho Cup signing off for the last time. We appreciate everyone who's come out for all of these streams. And that will be it from us. I have once again been your host, Chili Repair. My pleasure being here with you all. Thank you to Yong and Dio and Nightbeat and all the people who have, and even Mike L, who commentated a few matches, for joining us on these streams to make them a success. And I will make a proper announcement later. But once again, to finally sign off after this long outro, thank you for watching. And that will be it from us here at Gaucho Cup. We will see you possibly next year.